Hello and welcome to this short film about the wonderful Zoom G3Xn, and to show us and talk to us all about it is Mr. Rick Lowe. Hi Rick.
Hi Steve. G3Xn and G3N are the latest guitar processors from Zoom. They follow from the G5N, which was launched in January and is all new technology for Zoom. Unlike the other units before, G5, G3, G3X, this is a whole new slate. They've gone away with all of that and started with a much more in-depth way of actually analysing the amps. They actually buy the amps, take them to bits, analyse every little bit and work out exactly how that thing should sound. So what you're getting is, for actually a relatively low price, because this is about £170, is pretty damn incredible.
I have to say, some of these sounds are absolutely incredible. They are very, very accurate indeed. And I wouldn't say that they could hold their own up at with some of the higher end stuff that's out there, but certainly it does give them a hell of a run for the money. They're very, very good indeed.
Yeah, I think with Zoom, one of the things they've wanted to do is get back to where they feel they should be. Because I think for some time Zoom haven't really been, there's been a lot of other brands.
Well, they started, of course, with with guitar processors. One of the first, in fact, I think the first processor I ever had was a Zoom 9002, the one that used to fit on your strap.
That was the unit that started Zoom, and that's where it actually came from. That was the first thing they developed as Zoom. Before that, they were actually developing for other companies. And that sort of wrote in stone where they went. And so for a long, long while, from everybody probably will, most people who have had a guitar player have had a Zoom unit, whether it's a 505 or whatever, there's so many of them out there. But where we're at now with this unit, with the G series units, is, a lot of effects in there. So I think it comes with 77 effects, 150 patches. Also, it doesn't stop there, because what we've done with G5 is on the website, you download our software, and then you can download into your unit new amps, new cabs, new effects, artist patches. And this is going to happen certainly with the amps, models and stomp boxes is going to be monthly, whereas the artist patch will happen from time to time.
So obsolescence built in. It's actually going to keep going and keep going.
Yeah, the idea with this is to have a unit that's going to keep going. It's going to sound fantastic in both mediums, whether it's actually using it as a live or a home or a recording unit. It's just going to be, your go-to box. And I say for the certain amount of money, this is a full metal chassis on this unit. What we should do is, I think we should go through a few patches with Steve. Yeah. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go a bit sort of funky with Steve first. So we're going to put we're going to go with an auto funk patch. What I'll quickly do after that is just show you what's in it. So here we have a bit of auto funk. So in that patch, if I press this stomp box here, it actually shows us what's in the patch, and I can actually scroll through it. So we can actually see we've got an auto wire, rack compressor, Fender twin, Marshall carb, spring reverb and a pedal volume. So quite a lot in there. You can have about 7 effects at once, depending on processing power, because some elements take more processing. Yeah, you've got things like there's loopers in there, there's a drum machine, so there's everything you could possibly need to sort of, just to your heart's content. So let's have a look at a different patch, something a bit cleaner. So I think Steve being a bit of a jazz guy, we'll go for a bit of... And then from that, we're going to go to a nice lead patch, so on the humbucker. So we'll go for a bit of this solo bit. And that actually, as you see here, was combining like a Bogner Ecstasy, Marshall 412, pedal volume, bit of just a bit of sort of air, whatever you want to call it. And yes. So that's the makeup of that patch, which I can scroll through and edit. So if we go back a few patches, we're going to go back to some patches I've created to sort of give you an idea of maybe a couple of amp types here. So the first one, this one is, I'm going to actually show you the patch. So there's a 1959, there's a 4x12, there's an EP stomp on the front. So that's how this patch is made up. And from that, we're going to go to another classic amp, the Marshall 800 series. So here we go, look at that patch again. We've got just the Marshall there, and just scroll back a little bit. We can see we've got an RC boost, carb, spring reverb. So pretty straightforward. And then for you guys that like that sort of that mid sort of thing with scoop it out sort of amp, you know, let's go to this one, which features a rectifier. You see here, let's just go back to patch. Is he right or is he wrong? There we go, back to patch. So yeah, we've got a rectifier in here. So yeah, take it away. And just listening to that, then I'm like, that sounds...
It's pretty close.
It sounds really good. On each of the amp models as well, which is interesting, the amps take up 2 slots. But on the second slot, what we actually have is you can set up a solo. So it's nice if you just want that sort of amp thing. Let's just go back to that. So it's like you've got your proper setup all there with the, you know, your foot switch for your amp and everything. It is pretty damn amazing, I think.
And they react pretty well. Certainly if you dig in there. There's a very satisfactory sort of feel to it, the same way there would be with a live amp. It's very clever.
Damn good sounding guitar as well.
That's to be said.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to sort of show you how quickly you can create a patch. Okay. So we're going to sort of, we've got a patch here, so Happy New Year to everybody. And this patch, Scan Steve, is a blank patch. There's nothing in there. So when we switch it on here, he says there's nothing on here. We actually put something on here. So let's just actually remove some of that. So I look very clever. Yeah, let's remove that. And let's remove that. Okay. So now we do actually have a blank patch.
And we can tell that because that is a cable.
Yeah.
I didn't realise you explained to me before.
Actually, it said, you know, look, you've got a guitar cable, so it's basically saying this is direct.
You can never unsee it once you've seen it.
That's it. And so, if we look here, we can scroll through this element. So we're going to start with the first element of this patch here, and I'm actually going to bring in some a rat compressor. So a real nice rat compressor. And to that, I'm going to add an amp model. So I'm going to go through the amp, all the effects here, and we'll eventually come to the amp models. Like I say, you can download more amp models. This is going to be a continuing thing, so it's not just one thing. I mean, looking there, there's just a whole host of stuff. So we've got a Bassman here, actually.
All right.
So we're going to bring a Fender Bassman on. So I think onto that as well, let's just see what else we can sort of add onto this patch. I'm going to add on a reverb somewhere in this chain. Let's just bring this one here, I think. Oh, there we go. So let's not put another compressor on. That'll just add a lot of noise. I'm actually going to put it in front, so it's going to be a little bit different. But you can, I mean, I'll do that for a certain reason, as I'll explain in a minute. So traditionally, you would think you'd have a spring reverb. I'm going to do, because I've put them in the wrong order there, is I'm actually going to go to this little element here where I can change the chain of effects. So I'm going to get hold of this Fender Bassman. I'm going to move it in front. And there we are. Got it where we want it. So it's that straightforward and easy. Again, actually, we've got the solo boost on the Bassman there. Really sweet. So up to 7 effects you can lay at once, obviously depending on processing power, but it is very, very easy to do. Very easy to change your effect, very easy to change an amp. Say, you know, if you just want to change this rack compressor for something a little bit different, you know, there is a whole host of stuff in here. I mean, even, you know, things for the guys who like the sort of, trying to think what a band is now, Rage Against the Machine, where you've got that sort of stuff.
Oh, the kill switch.
Yeah, like a kill switch thing. We've actually put a coil switch in this one. So you don't have it on your guitar, you got it on your foot. So, you know, little and interesting things like that. And the one you heard at the start as well, where we had this sort of feedback on
the weird sort of...
I'll actually, just quickly, before we finish, I'll go back to that to sort of show you that patch. So in there, we've actually got this dual delay. We've got an oscillating echo, that's what it is. So on the pedal, you guys, fantastic.
Every hot wind cover you ever.
A good way to end and say thank you for watching. This is the G3Xn and G3N, and they are available at Scan.